Okay, in this video I'm going to be comparing a cheap drone to a more expensive drone. So here we have a Parrot Bebop 2. This is about $500 drone, $400 to $500. And we have a really cheap drone, some generic brand Extreme Flyer. So with the Parrot Bebop 2, for about $400 to $500, you get the drone, battery, controller, VR goggles, so you can fly the drone with these goggles. And our cheaper drone, you get the drone, has a camera, really junky, controller, and the battery. Now for $30, I really don't expect much. All right, I'm gonna do a quick comparison now. I'm not gonna get too in detail, but let's start with the cheap drone. So with the cheap drone, you get the drone, it comes with a battery and the controller. Now I gotta say, when I bought the drone, I picked up the box. It's so light, and I didn't even think anything was in it. And the drone itself, it barely weighs anything. It feels like 10 sheets of paper almost. It's just so light. Same with the controller. That's the battery. This is the box. So it looks really nice. The box looks amazing. And if you were to actually compare this $30 drone to this $400 to $500 drone, they look similar from a distance. But once you get up close and you actually pick the two up, there's a huge difference. You can feel how cheap this drone is. It feels like a piece of junk. I'm not gonna complain. Like, for $30, I don't expect much. So they did a really nice job in the box. It looks like an expensive drone. But obviously $30, it's not. And once you pull it out of the package, you'll see how cheap this thing is. Okay, so now the Parrot Bebop 2. With this package, I got the drone. It came with the controller, one battery, the VR goggles, so you can put your phone in this goggle set and you can fly the drone through it. Just have a quick look at the box. So full HD video with stabilization, 14 megapixels. The drone itself is 500 grams, so just over a pound. 25-minute flight time. Now with the cheap one, I've been getting about 5 minutes of flight time, although it says up to 8 minutes. So 25 minutes of flight time, 2 kilometers distance. Now I want to say you don't get the 2 kilometers unless you're in an empty field. Around where I'm at, I'm definitely not getting that, although I'm still able to fly it quite far away. I can fly it so far in the sky, I can't even see it anymore. All right, so I'm gonna fly the drones. I'm gonna start with the cheap one. All right, put the battery in. Okay, start it up.
They can put the apples in here.
Oh, there we go. So this drone, it flies. It's definitely difficult to keep in the air. It's moving all over the place with the wind. Let's try the video out. See if I can land it on the table here. Nope. All right, so I gotta say it's definitely hard to fly. It's not too bad though. Like some of the cheap drones, I can't even fly them. They just go all over the place, but it's definitely not stable, but I am able to fly it. It's really hard to keep it in place. Like it goes up and it goes down. I'm constantly moving the joystick around to try to. It's fun to fly, it's hard. Ah! Okay, so now I'm gonna fly the Parrot. The nice thing with this drone is it has GPS, so it should stay right in place. I know this cheaper drone, when I was flying it, I got it a little bit up in the air and the wind kind of took it out of the yard and I was barely able to bring it back and I almost lost it. So let's try this. All right, it's all connected. Let's take off. So to take off in the Parrot, you just All right, and it's completely stable. So it has GPS, so I'm not doing anything right now and it's staying exactly where it is. Even though the wind's pushing it, it knows how to stay. And that's a big difference between a cheap drone and a more expensive drone. All right, so I'm up in the sky and I'm not touching any of the controls right now, and the drone is staying perfectly in place. Now it does have 2-kilometer range, so I'm gonna see if I can fly it over to a parking lot a little ways away from here. I definitely won't be able to see it. Okay, so I hit the home button from the parking lot, and I don't know if you can see, but the drone's coming back on its own with the GPS. I'm not touching the controller right now. Here it is. Okay, so I flew the drone over to the parking lot. I hit the home button and it flew right back to my backyard. Again, I'm not even touching the controller right now. So $30 drone. I gotta say, it's a total piece of junk, but for 30 bucks, they're really fun to fly. They're good drones to learn on, and if you can master flying one of these, it's gonna be a lot easier to fly a more expensive drone. So when I flew this, I had it up in there, a gust of wind took it, and I could barely get it back into my backyard. So they are quite difficult to fly, but good to learn on. The more expensive drone, so we have a high definition camera, has GPS built in, so it's not going to move around on you when it's up in there. Also too, if this drone disconnects from the controller when you're far away, because it has a 2-kilometer range, so if you're far away from your house or wherever you're flying and it disconnects from the controller, it's automatically going to fly back to the last location it took off from. Also, if you're far away from your house and you hit the home button, it's automatically going to come back. So another nice feature with the Parrot drone is it has up to 2 kilometers range, and you can fly it up to 150 meters straight up. So I was up to 150 meters the other day, and I had flown it right up to that mountain there. Not all the way, but pretty close. And the drone lost connection with the controller because I flew it too far away, and I kind of got worried because I couldn't see the drone anymore. It was so far away. But the nice thing was, once it disconnected from the controller, it automatically flew right back to my backyard. So that's kind of a nice thing with these more expensive drones, is having the GPS.